Did you manage to get the GlobeX IB last night, Bob? Hopefully. All right, the stream is active. Good morning, everyone. Welcome in. Should have a slow fill of people coming in here shortly. That GlobeX IB last night was probably one of the better ones that we've had. That went and hit the full TP in, I think, 3 minutes. I was in for 3 micros on that, and that ended up being $152. And then I stupidly tried getting a little bit more on gold. Luckily, it worked out for me, but immediately regretted it. Closed the position, closed my broker down, and then just went on about my night. But we will review that once I get logged in here. I am almost passed on my funded futures again, so we should be fine to start trading those live again here shortly. But in the meantime, I've just been trading Lucid. I think I'm like $700 off passing those my funded accounts. So I will review the trade that I wasn't so happy about taking. I don't know why I sized up for MGC. I tried running it on trend and ended up getting $100 off of it, 100 on the dot. So that was nice at least. Kind of wish I didn't. Not a very good trade there, but I do slip here and there. And then anyway, going over to the IB from last night. This was, we'll go down to the 1 minute time frame to see exactly how long it took. Good morning, Trey. How you doing? How you doing? Where's the 1 minute here? So I was in for 3 micros on that last night because of how small the range was. There you go. And we were in that trade for, got in right at 7 last night. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 minutes is how long it was. 6 minutes on the IB, filled right at 706, and then it popped another 50 points from where the IB was, 190 up to 243, which is okay. I wish I had forgotten to set a stop loss or the limit sell for the TP, but it's okay. It's okay. And we do have a little discussion for Apex today, which I am officially all done with. They denied my payout and will be closing my accounts for tweets that I had that are defamatory, which is sad. I'm pretty happy to be done with them. As long as they don't try to claw back the payout that they sent me, which was in the email that they sent for the payout denial, then we're fine, but don't use them. After I slightly oversized on the regular Tuesdays IB and lost it, I'm still needing one more IB win to make that up. That'll teach me to add 2 more micros. They sure are, Tyree. They sure are. Good morning, guys. JV, good morning. AO, good morning. Lonnie, good morning. Why'd they do that? So they sent me an email last night saying that because I inferred that my social media presence had something to do with them denying my payout and then approving it the same day or the next day, they said that that had a defamatory action associated with it. So I needed to delete the tweet and make a tweet saying that I was wrong, which I'm not going to. I just ended up deleting the tweet because I don't want them to claw back the payout that they sent me. But after 7 days of waiting, they sent me that instead of sending me the payout that I was rightfully due. But it's just a terrible firm to work with. So we'll do a little review on the GlobeX IB for this week. Yeah, sorry, JP. I saw that yesterday, and then we ended the stream, so I wasn't able to answer. Yes, my code for Lucid is Zinc. My code for Tradeify and my funded futures is also Zinc. I would get the Lucid 25K Pros, which is what I have right here. The dashboard's really smooth now. I haven't had issues with it all week, hopefully. I am 745 off of getting a 5K payout. 2,500 profit on the dot. That's cool. 7,500. That's 7,500. 750 off of getting a payout. The sad thing is I was up another 200 at close yesterday, but then Avgo earnings, and I forgot that I had an order in. And that order ended up going all the way until 4:45 when they forced closed the position. So I ended up losing 200. And I didn't even know that I had the order in. This is for the Apex situation. I no longer have the account. They sent me an email last night that said, or like 3:50 yesterday afternoon, that said payout denial and account closure for defamatory post on social media saying that I was in multiple infractions of their user agreement because I made posts that I think were honest reviews of how they function as a company. They viewed it as me making a post that was defamatory towards them because I indicated that my social media presence had something to do with me getting an answer from support, getting my payout that was denied, approved. So they said either remove the tweets or you lose your accounts, which I'm fine with losing the accounts. I don't really care to use them anymore. Lucid, My Funded Futures, and Tradeify are fine. I just don't want them to claw back the payout that they sent me, which was also in the email they sent. So even more reason to YOLO it. Yeah. What's your opinion? Good morning, Grandma. What's your opinion on Lucid Flex accounts? I don't use those ones. I prefer the Lucid Pros because even though there's 40% consistency, you're not going to be hitting massive profit targets, right? Your 40% consistency is 3 days. If you make 200, you should be able to do that over the course of 3 days. The only profit target they have in these accounts now is 250, and the buffer is 1,000. So you just need to get a payout. You just need to be over 26,100. That's it. Which is my biggest profit on these accounts was 1298. So I am 11.9% off of hitting the consistency requirement. Probably not going to push for that today. If we do get it, great. Then I'll get the payout. If not, then whatever. Yeah, that was for new accounts only, Chris, which is just dumb. No more denied payouts, but you have to buy new accounts. So everyone that's still trading on the old accounts, they're on those old rules. Such a dirty company. The truth was that your social media presence absolutely was the reason they paid you. They're mad because you told the truth and didn't want to get an affiliate for them. Yeah, and you know what? I was going to be nonchalant about it, but Dodgy reached out to me. Ryan Dodgy D. So he reached out to me and said, yo, that's not when I made this post that said I got banned from Apex. He reached out and said, what's your Apex email? They eval blocked you because they see that you're actually a good trader. Your system works. I'm going to talk to them. And then essentially said, also get an Apex code. You're missing free money that will end up making you the most. So basically just saying that I need to get an Apex affiliate code. And then if I promoted them or showed that I was using Apex still, that he would get me uneval banned. What's the status of my payout? It says denied based on the email. But whatever. I'm all done with them. The headache's not worth it using them. The 20 accounts was nice for that one payout, and then they put every rule in place to just make it difficult on you. Not to mention they denied my payout after it should have been approved to do a little psyop on me. What's going on, Brian? Good morning. Morning, Mark. How you doing? Chris, good morning. Roll, good morning. Anyway, so we'll get into the data here shortly. Again, we do have a special guest today for the stream. We will be having James Bruce on stream today after he's through with some personal matters. But we'll get all this gap fill by size and everything done. Going over to GlobeEx IB now. Last night, this was the GlobeEx IB for both MES and M&Q. By the way, we are 4 for 4 this week on the GlobeEx IB. 4 for 4 this week, which is probably one of the longer winning streaks I've gone on with one single model or one single entry. That's all from that GlobeEx IB. I'm trying to find that. There we go. All right, so here is SPY. SPY's IB. That one also had a 50% entry. The range on this was 6889 down to 6878. So it was only 11 points, meaning it was a 5.5 point return or $25 per micro. Not really worth it. For M&Q, I only monitor MES to make sure that they're pointing in the same direction. As long as I don't go over to MES and see that it's pointing straight down and M&Q is pointing up, then I wouldn't take it. But for last night's GlobeEx, we're going to review the 4 days this week. Low formed first, right at the 6 o'clock open. High formed at 6:45. I set my limit buy at about 650. I'll answer that in a minute or two after we review these GlobeEx trades. Let's see when I put that order in last night. So I put the limit buy in at 655 for 3 micros. And I got filled at 7 o'clock on the dot out in 6 minutes. And then it ran a little bit more, sadly. But that was a 25 point return, 165 up to 190. That was last night. GlobeEx IB for Wednesday. This was the one that we shouldn't have taken. Now that I know that the data is pretty weak for Wednesday, we won't take it next week. GlobeEx IB for Wednesday. We had the 6 o'clock low form first. The high formed at that same 6 o'clock candle at the end of that 6:15 candle. And then entered at 6:45, full TP hit on that as well. So this one was a 50 point return, just about. I think it was 52 points. Yeah, 2 more here. Pretty happy that we were also able to fix this into the downside. Very important that you're able to play both sides of direction. So this one had the high form first, 25.11, low formed at 24.943. So this was a 34 point range, entry right at 50%, right down to full TP. And then Sunday night, this one was the big one. Unfortunately, I was sick, so I wasn't able to capitalize on the entire move up. I ended up exiting at like 745-ish. Or 750. So I didn't miss another 100 points on this move, or 50 points, something like that. But this one had the low form right at GlobeEx open for Sunday, high form second, retraced right to that 50%, and then beautiful continuation up. So those are the 4 for 4 for this week. Now, what's important to note about today is that we do have NFP tomorrow. So we're going to be very cautious about the IB, maybe not even play it today. I do not like playing it before NFP. And that's just because of data showing us that Thursdays before NFP are extremely poor to play the IB on. We'll still monitor it. If anything, I'm going to take maybe one MES. It also depends on the range that we get today. I'm not going to go too heavy. 2 MES, 2 M&Q. We're just going to stay with 1 micro today. And that should be it. We should be getting up to about 688.70. That is the weekly high. I don't think that we're going to go all the way down to the low that we made this week, which is 669. That's another $15 drop. Q's has already taken out its weekly high, 609.90. So we don't have that draw there. I'm going to be anticipating upside today. We also have the gap fill by size report to look at. So gap fill by size, we have a 61% chance that it does not get filled. So it's not that sound as it stands right now. But if we push up 0.13% before open and we get into that second bracket, then we have a 70% chance that the gap does get filled. What do you mean about weak data? For Thursdays on the IB by rejection, specifically the Thursdays before NFP. So this is your first Thursday of each month, typically your first Thursday of each month. The IB for those Thursdays, the low forming first is on a win streak. So this one might be overdue a loss as well. But for the most part, you can see right here that of the 8 outcomes, 7 of them went and took. It's not the 12 that it should be. And then we can go and look at each Thursday before NFP, which the last one would have been 0205. This one did end up working, actually. Yeah, 0205, that ended up working. 0108, the one before that, that was no break. And then we'll do one more, 1204, 1211. That one ended up being a no break as well. Or not a no break, the wrong break. Oh, yes, for Wednesdays. So if we go to the IB by rejection, we'll go to MNQ, and we'll go to daily for Wednesdays. $50-50 across the board. So it's not a very good outcome for Wednesdays. I shouldn't have taken it on Wednesday night. Or Tuesday into Wednesday, sorry. I shouldn't have taken it then. We know now going into next week that we shouldn't have. But that's what I mean by weak data. So the Wednesday GlobeEx IB was the one that was kind of shaky as well. We go over to MES for Wednesday. Tuesday into Wednesday, that is. So this one barely missed the IB low. Barely missed taking out the IB low, which would have been an invalidation. And then it did end up taking the high. This is the one that we shouldn't have taken because it's 50-50 across the board for the stats. Why did you decide to take the GlobeX IB? I was looking at the wrong data, Maggie, so I did get lucky. That's all. So I got lucky on it. But Chris said it doesn't work. Yeah, I know. He back tested it for 5 years, and that IB, the GlobeX IB, that's been 4 for 4 this week. Doesn't work over 5 years though. How do you feel about Lucid 25K Pro versus Lucid 50K Pro? So the most important difference between those is that the 25K Pro does not have a daily loss limit. And why that's important, as you can see, what's my balance on these accounts right now, Tyree? Like 2,500-ish. The Lucid 50K Pro, you get more drawdown overall. You get 2,000 as opposed to 1,000, but they slap you with the daily loss limit at 1,300. So you really, even though you have more drawdown, I only view it as you having 300 more drawdown, because if you hit your daily loss limit, then you have 700 left. You're most likely going to blow that account with $700 in drawdown. So not really much of a point in trying to save it with 700 in drawdown, and you're going to have to make up all that consistency that you may have lost. So the 25K Pros, once you build the balance on those with no daily loss limit, these ones I still like more, and they're cheaper as well. So that's why I always go with the 25K Pros. Do we have data for how often price retraces to the 0.5 or 0.25 of GlobeX IB and New York IB? We do not know. That's what Andre was talking about yesterday. It's pretty difficult to get that data because it's a variable on that range. So it's a difficult data point to go and grab. I usually only take 1 to 2 trades. Yeah, you could do the 50K. The other thing with those accounts, the payout is only $500 different, the max payout. So the 50K Pro, again, I view it as having 300 more in drawdown because of that daily loss limit. The 50K Pro is a $1,500 payout as opposed to 1,000 on the 25K Pro. And then your second payout with each of those accounts is it's 2,000 on the 50Ks versus 1,500 on the 25Ks. So you're still going to get a good return. And I typically stay away from the larger accounts because even though you have more drawdown, you have a lot of money that you still have to make, especially if you're going all the way up to like 150K account. It's still a lot of money that you have to make to get to your payout and qualify for it. I don't like most influencers. I feel like that's not the case with you. You're down to earth and you speak the truth. Yeah, speaking the truth almost gets me in trouble, though. Thank you, futures. Stafford, they told me they reached out to you. Go on to Edgeful. You don't need a subscription for this. You can go on to Edgeful and open this AI agent right here. But I'm not going to be able to help you at all. They credited all 5 accounts, so it should be fine. Seems like 25K might be the better option, like you said. Yeah, and they're also cheaper too. For everyone in here that is hopefully listening to the point that I make every day about trading micros, if you're trading micros, first off, if trading micros and trading on a 100 or 150K account doesn't make any sense because you're not ever going to go and reach that payout. Trading micros on a 25K account, though, slowly getting your way to a payout, that's going to be a lot better than trying to claw back 2,000, 3,000, 4,000 profit. I think for a 150K account, too, you need like 100, not 100, what am I saying? You need 9,000 profit. And then to pass the account, you also need 9,000. So you need to make 18,000 total before you even get to a payout, and the payout's 3,000. Whereas the 25Ks, you need to make 1,250, and then technically now you only need to make 250 for a profit target. Even though the buffer requirement's 1,000, to get a payout on these accounts, you need to make 2,250, which is easily the lowest in the space. I'm obviously going for a much bigger one, and I got pretty lucky on the day that I started these accounts. I passed them and then got them funded on Tuesday. Yeah, Tuesday. And then I just capitalized on the upside. Even though we did take a loss on the IB, managed to switch my bias on the Lucid accounts and catch the move in the afternoon, which was nice. Signed up for Edgeful today. Thank you for sharing the information. I'm excited to continue learning based off what you shared. Awesome. Base hits add up like crazy. Again, for today, everyone, we have NFP tomorrow, the first Friday of the month. We have NFP tomorrow morning. I do not like trading before NFP. For tomorrow, we also have 6 other data points. And then we have business inventories. That one's not really that big. Consumer credit will be big at 3. That one maybe like 0.2, 0.3% of a move there. No rush though. If we miss a day, that's fine. There's no harm in missing a day. Once my promo codes, once I'm able to buy more, they don't let you buy it from the 1st to the 10th of the month. But once I can buy some more coupons from Lucid, I'll do some more giveaways. But the more you guys use my code, the more accounts I'll give away. A mutually beneficial relationship. Their dashboard's a lot better. It hasn't gone down yet. Knock on wood. It hasn't gone down yet this week since they've updated it. But these accounts are insane now because You can get your payout in 3 days from buying the account. Not just 3 days after you fund the account. You can fund the account the same day that you pass it. You would fund it within 5 minutes of passing it, and then you can trade on it, and that counts as your first trading day. So I passed these on Tuesday. I could technically get a payout after hours today. Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday today, which is by far the fastest one in the space. I think the only one that rivals this is going to be my funded futures, the Rapids. Even those are pretty difficult to get past the trailing intraday drawdown. So these ones have end of day drawdown. They're a lot easier. Take profit is good. I haven't tried them yet. Is it correct that they take 5 days to pass the account? I know there's 2 different phases you have to go through. I think it's 10 with the pro account. Once you get 10,000 profit, you move to the pro plus. But I think, isn't it 5 trading days to pass the account? They're not going to pay me rain. They ended up actually banning me yesterday. To answer your question, R2, I saw that you asked earlier. They denied it because they said that I made defamatory tweets because I indicated that my social media presence had an impact on my payout getting approved all that time ago, back in February, beginning of February. It's been a while since I did the eval, but once you pass, you can take payouts pretty much at any time without any consistency rule. It's for your first 2. Oh, Tyree, that's the wrong promo code. It's okay, I forgive you. It's for your first 2 only. The first 2 Lucid Pro accounts you get, because they just updated them, is 50% off, and then it goes to, I think, anything after that is 30% off. So it's like $90, something like that. Morning, Abe. How you doing? Phil, what's going on? Code Mr. Zinc. Just Zinc. Just code Zinc, Jacob. Doesn't the Lucid Pro have consistency? Yeah, it's 40%. 40% consistency right here. 40% consistency is the same as what you guys would use to pass an account, though, for most other firms. Just keep that in mind. Let's see. I need to double check to see if I can get any coupons right now, which I cannot. Yeah, I can't get any. So I have to go and I have to wait until, I think it says right here, coupon management, wallet. There we go. Wallet purchases are disabled during payout process. So 1st to the 10th of each month, purchases will resume on the 11th. So come the 11th, we'll be able to do some giveaways. Accounts to giveaway. Oops. Kid request. There we go. Okay, beautiful. What's the best intraday trail or end of day trail? What's the Lucid promo code? Zinc, ZINC. Don't use Apex BP. That's my thought on them. Don't use them. All right, we are open. Our gap down. Get this gap fill by size fixed. Gap fill by size. I should refresh here momentarily. I believe the gap down was still in that third bracket, so we have a 61% chance that it doesn't get filled today. Same with SPY. SPY gap down over 0.4, so it's in the third bracket as well. Our previous day's range, which we are opening within, it's right there. And then our London 50 is right here. So those are our levels that we need to bounce off for SPY. Again, NFP is tomorrow, so we're going to be a little cautious today with the IB. Maybe we already took our loss for the IB on Tuesday. The reason that I entered longs yesterday on SPY, by the way, on MES, I just took one MES. I ended up getting $50 off of it. It was because ES did not break the IB high, which we ended up doing at 11 o'clock. That's the only reason I went and took that position. Thank you, Tyree. You're forgiven. Scratch that. We might go and fill that gap right away. Even though we didn't really have that strong of a chance of doing it. We are within previous day's range, so we could take longs up to either 612, just about 613, or shorts down to 603 once we get an indication of which way we're going. I'm expecting to go up to 688 today or tomorrow for that inside bar for the weekly, or the initial bounce for the weekly. And then that should about do it for what we're anticipating today anyway. I just have to wait. I did see that if anyone tell Tyree Brian said to check your Discord DMs because I think he has some back testing info that he would like to share with you. It's only right that you get your credit. I learned this model about Lucid from you. Awesome. Thank you. I had to make sure he was a real person. I'll tell you right now how many. So this week alone, I banned 9 fake Zincs from the Discord. Who knows how many are on Twitter? And along with that, pretty much every single day, we have 4 people that come in here trying to that say this message. They say, I'm giving anyone who texts me a guaranteed 6-man pick for free. Send me the text, just say bet. And they drop their phone number in chat, but we have them auto blocked. So it's like 4 a day, every single day. It's ridiculous. All right, there is London 50 right there. We're only gap down 0.18% now, so we're probably going to go and fill that on both SPY and Qs. I didn't think we were going to jump up that much. If you trade MES and M&Q, is there a reason you use SPY and Qs data? Yes, because of slippage. QQQ and SPY are a lot more accurate. Much more accurate. Good morning, Bob, Brett Chaser, EBC, Freedom Trader, Husker, Justin, K-Rad, Luke, Maggie. MHB, Patrick, R2, Rebo, Rolo, Sasso, good morning. Steve, good morning. Switch Ether, good to see you again. Ethereum. Tom Daly. Did I answer your message you sent me this morning, Tom? Yeah. This goes for everyone. I get this question a lot. With your accounts, how much drawdown do you like to keep? I'm assuming that you meant how much drawdown do I like to keep when I go and take a payout? Always take the payouts when you can. Do not, and this isn't financial advice, obviously, this is just from studies within prop spaces. Do not set yourself up for the second payout. Take the payout that you can take and then worry about the second payout afterwards. The ROI on one set of funded accounts will always, if you get one payout on Lucid, for example, right now, these accounts costing me $90 to get, 67 for the first two and then 90 for the other three. If I get one payout at $90 for the cost, and that payout's $1,000, I could go and blow 10 more accounts before I start going net negative. Do not worry about your second payout within the account. Get your first payout first, and then worry about what you're making afterwards. What a strong open, very strong open. Good morning, Pat. How you doing? Oh, we have another Mark. Stefan, good morning. Where's everyone tuning in from today? I know most of the people in the Discord I remember. Maggie's in Florida. We have 2 people from Florida. I remember that. Rolo, Australia. Melbourne, I think. R2 from the Philippines. Perth. Sorry, Rolo. I'll remember. Perth. New Zealand? NZ, New Zealand? Rue country. New Zealand to Oregon. Holy smokes. What a move. Shithole UK. Vancouver, Arkansas, Quebec, San Diego, Daytona Beach, Florida, Brazil, Cape Town, Hollywood, Florida. I didn't know there was a Hollywood, Florida. Gatville and NQ, not yet. Not quite yet. Still has another 20 cents to go. I did not expect this to fill the gap up. This is some NFP shenanigans, though. We do have NFP tomorrow. I will continue to repeat that all morning. Lucid, you can trade news on. Yes. Lucid, you can trade any news on. For my funded futures, you cannot trade news. They have a T1 news restriction. Spain, Tennessee. Still no one from Maine. Oddly, there is a Hollywood, Ireland. Interesting. You guys teach me so much. Oh, I got some giveaway codes from Lucid. Nice. So I'll give those away. Let's see. We'll give those away for the Discord today, and then next week I'll see if I can get some more to give away. Next week we'll do 5 giveaways for everyone. I have my own Big Daddy. I can't believe I'm going to call you 911 instead. Bull beat revenue. Yeah, they missed on earnings on EPS, but they beat on revenue. Add into gap fill. There you go, Freedom Trader. Very good. How long is 50%? It's only for your first 2 accounts. It's not 50% off. It's 40% off. Let me check right now. They have the promo vault here. So they are valid until March 31st at 5 o'clock. For your first 2 orders, it's 50% off. For your first 5 after that, it's 40% off. And then anything over your 7th order is 30% off. Excuse me. All right, our target for today is going to be up to previous day's high. That's what I'm going to be looking for. Previous day's high is 612.82, and then previous day's high on SPY is 687.07. Yesterday's close, we did just get the gap fill right there. 610.56 was yesterday's close. We hit 610.77. So gap has been filled. That is no longer a draw for today. Gap filled for the target right there. We had a gap between 0.4 and 0.69%. We only had a 39% chance of filling it, and we did. Typical NFP behavior, pre-NFP behavior. I didn't have the YouTube screen open, and then I just heard Zinc say I have my own Big Daddy. That was surreal. Yeah, we're going to call him 1911 from now on. Why do you use the 15-minute, not the 5 or 1? Psychological reasons. The 15-minute time frame, for me anyway, I'm a lot more relaxed looking at the chart. If you go down to the 1-minute time frame, even though these candles are much smaller, watching each tick up and down, whether you're in a trade or not, spikes your cortisol, makes you a lot more stressed. The 5-minute time frame isn't as bad. The 15-minute time frame is the sweet spot that I found. It's the mix between higher time frames, like looking at the hourly time, and being able to actually get good entries and knowing what price did. The only reason that I go down to the 1-minute time frame is to see how long I was in the trade or to see what it wicked to. Our IB high has formed second, sorry. IB low formed first, IB high formed second, so we will be targeting the high. We may not take anything today because of NFP tomorrow. I'm going to keep saying that throughout the stream today. If we do take something, I'm probably going to look to take maybe 1 MES, if that. Maybe 1 MNQ if the range stays as small as it is right now. Right now it's only like 140 points. Yeah, 142 points is the range so far. I joined later. The discount you mentioned, was that for Lucid? Yes. Your first 2 accounts that you buy are 50% off. They just reworked all their accounts, by the way. That's why they're doing this promo. Your first 2 accounts that you buy are 50% off. Your first 5 after that. Your first 2 accounts, 50% off. Your next 5 accounts, 40% off. Anything over that's 30% off. So you can get one of the new, I think it's $67.50 for a 25K Lucid Pro with that 50% off deal. Pause. Don't say pause to everybody. Don't do that to me. I know what I did. As long as SPY doesn't go and take a new low, I'll be happy. We not even remotely close to getting that gap fill on SPY, by the way. We have to get all the way up to 685.16. If the two of these don't line up today, then we're not taking the IB. If ideally, I'd like to get up to 612.84. I think that would be a pretty good level to run to here. We have a draw up tomorrow as well. 688.59. So that report that Andre gave us yesterday, opening week range, we only have where are the overall stats here? Broke opening week high, broke opening week low. That is 60%. So we have honestly, it looks like 100% chance. Over the past 23 weeks, we have not stayed within the range that SPY and Qs has formed on Monday and Tuesday. So we have a draw up to 688.62 because that's the high that we made on Monday and Tuesday. Tuesday's low was 669.73. Wednesday, Thursday, Friday have and this is saying for the past 23 weeks, has a 100% chance of hitting those levels. So I do want to go, if we don't take this today, I'm going to be a little ballsy tomorrow. I'm going to take a long pretty much right at open. Might even take a long for NFP because we need to go and hit that level. We have yet to break that range. So for this report, oh man, bad voice crack. For this report, we have a price target at Tuesday's low or Monday's high. 688.64, 669.66. Those are our two levels that we should go and hit. Given that we're 15 points closer to the high, I'm going to anticipate that we probably get up to that level. And then that also lines up for the inside bar that we have today. We should go up to 687.17. Could definitely take a long coming up here shortly. I don't think we have any significant data. I think we got our data out of the way this morning. Yeah, we don't have any more data. So we had import price index at 8:30. That was it. And we have nothing else for today. Just some speakers. What could we put on? If I did one MES, we could risk $100 on that, 20 points. Obviously, this wouldn't be on the IB trade. This would be us anticipating a break up to like 687. I'm going to try it. 20 points would put us down. Yeah, we can risk 100 on this, sure. So I'll risk 100 on this position. I'm going to try one MES long. This isn't the IB or anything. This is me anticipating a break up to either previous day's high or 688.72. So it was going to be a little risky. If I end up risking $100 on this, so be it. But I think we're going to have a long bias. We're still going to maybe try the IB. The super IB, yeah. Too bad I didn't just wait there a little bit. We'll see. I'm going to give it a try. 20-point stop. I want previous day's high, then weekly high. We'll see. That might be me just donating $100 to the market. First 15-minute of GlobeEx, 8 p.m. EST range works really good too on the top the first hour. Huh? That's Asia session open to everybody. That's not GlobeX. Asia session open is 8 to 9. The naked what, Brian? Naked what? I took that trade last night. Yeah, GlobeX is 6 to 7, and then Asia session. I don't trade Asia. I haven't been anyway. Asia session is 8 to 9. So that's a completely different GlobeX that you can trade. Not GlobeX. Get me all tongue tied. That's a completely different IB that you can trade. So if you go to your 8 to 9 o'clock range, we'll mark this from last night. 8 o'clock right here, and then your low was formed there. This one still almost got you your entry. Almost got to 50% at 9:45, and then it ended up fading down. But this is a completely different IB to trade. This isn't the same IB. That's your Asia session. GlobeX is 6 to 7. Asia is 8 to 9. London is 3 to 4 a.m. EST. And then obviously our New York IB is the 9:30 to 10:30. London IB is 3 to 4. Took Asia IB trade similar to yesterday's New York trade. Nice. Dalton and market profile stuff. Highest volume price point from yesterday. Is that up to what's the level on that, Ryan? Because I know yesterday was pretty successful with that read. So what's the level for the POC today? It's going okay. I like the 25K pros for Lucid. Those are my favorite ones. 25 150. Oh, so pretty much where we are right now. 25 150. Too bad I didn't get a marginally better entry on this. We would have been up a lot more than what we are right now. Wouldn't have been red at least. If someone wants to learn from you, which videos should focus on to follow your footsteps? Just the lives. The lives are going to be better than the videos I have. I do have a playlist on YouTube for all my models. Took that trade with you, 3M and Q, and sold for 300 profit. Nice. Nice. Man, Terry, buddy, you and KP would be best friends. I'm going to tag KP, actually. There you go, trader. Yeah, MNQ definitely would have been a better entry there. MNQ just pushed up. MNQ doesn't have the draw, though. That's why I'm in MES right now. MNQ would have been a 60-point push right there if I had taken it on MNQ instead of being break even on SPY. That was okay. So I'm targeting up to previous day's high 687.07 and then 688.62. I think that would be a good price target for us to get to today. Previous day's high would be a run all the way up to 6901. So I'm going to put the sell limit there. There you go. And that should, if we catch a 42-point long on SPY right now, even though it's just one, you guys got to like and subscribe. I don't know what to say. If we catch that long all the way up to 688.62, I'm going to dance around on the stream. What's the draw mean? Means that we have a level that should act as a magnet. That's where we should push to. POC tag plus 200. There you go. Very nice. Hopefully it doesn't just drop now. I got a lot of friend requests from Zinc on Discord. Yeah, that's always going to be the case. You're going to get a million in one of those. Sorry. We'll try an IB trade today too. If this ends up running all the way up there, then we don't need to get into an IB trade. We can just ride this for the day. I'd like to try the IB on MNQ if we could. I don't really like trading MES all that much. I like trading MNQ. MES always stalls out. MES looks so weak right now. MES should get the gap fill. Yeah, I don't know. I might scrap it before we get a run to it and look for a better entry. What do we think? We do have the IB and tactile. I'll try to ride it. I won't cut out. It's $100 risk. If I end up losing on it, so be it. What percentage of days does the IB trade get a fill? It has to touch 50%. It doesn't have to touch 50%. The 50% is your ideal entry. Doesn't have to hit 50% though. That's your ideal entry. I don't have a stat for how many days. I will say, shout out to Tyree in here for that back test. It looks like the IB averages, if you're entering right at 50%, the IB averages about 16 entries a month. The lowest one was 8, and the highest one was 23. And that was entries at 50%. If I can scroll up and find the actual bat test stat sheet here. There we go. There's a new IB high. If we get $50, I'll take it too. Sure. 41. Good enough. I should have taken it on MNQ, not MES. I wouldn't say that was it probably was more of a scalp since we were in that first 15-minute candle. Still gonna look for the I mean, we already have our drop to 612.84 now. I'm gonna look for a pullback to actually get into with the IB. Kind of wish I either wanted to add 2 MES there. That wasn't an IB trade, so that's why I was a little skeptical of it as well. But I should have gotten 2 MES, or either I could have waited like another 5 seconds and get a much better entry as well. But it's okay. We are cooking right now. Feels good to have caught at least some of the move. What was the win-loss rate on those days from 50% entry back to IB high low? That's a different stat. Where is... I'm trying to find that screenshot you sent here, Tyree. I'll pull it up on screen. Stream. Okay, it's coming up. There we go. So this is the IB back test from Tyree. Thank you. The lowest month was 8. The highest month was 22 trades. You had 2 months where you had 22 trades actually, but this is the data supported for 2025. This is about as far back as I would go and back test it. I have not been trading the strategy for 5 years. And the entries, the best possible entry is not always going to be the 50%. So sometimes you're going to get an entry. Obviously, that wasn't an IB trade that I just took, but sometimes you're going to get an entry at 683.36. Sometimes you're going to get an entry at 75% of the IB getting filled. Sometimes you're going to get an entry at 25% of the IB. It's up to your intuition. Does the IB reject stat work on crude? Let's see. I don't usually trade it on precious metals or oil, but we can check right here. I'll add crude to it. We can go to IB by rejection. We're just going to look at it for a Thursday, if that's okay, Maggie. Looks like it does work pretty well for a Thursday. You have 81 and 60/40. Yeah, that's not too bad. That's for Wednesday, actually. Let's go Thursday. And not too good for a Thursday. 50/50. .62 and .65 are good entry levels instead of waiting for a price to come back to the 50 of the range. Wednesday, yes. If the high formed first on a Wednesday had an 81% chance of breaking the low, that would have been for yesterday. 30 seconds gives you even better trade. Could have held for another 50 points easy. Yeah. I could have held this for another 10 points, it looks like. Yeah. Could have gotten 100 out of that to the upside. That's okay. It wasn't. I'll take that win because it wasn't a strong confidence play. That was me trying to get a run to previous day's high, which I do think we're going to get up to. 6894 is previous day's high. That's what we should have run to today. We just barely missed previous day's high on Qs. I should have taken the trade on Qs. I don't think we would have been stopped out. Entry would have been, yeah. If I had risked 50 points on one micro, it would have been the same as risking 20, and I would have just pocketed almost 100-point move up, probably 120 points up. Depends if I held it, obviously. But definitely could have been a lot better of a trade there. CL ticker name. I actually don't know. I never trade oil. I just back tested it as CL. Long that 24,970s and only held until 25.40. It's still a 70-point trade. Maybe it'll give me another entry coming up here. I really want to maintain longs up to. I don't really want to enter right now because then I'm just entering where we got out. I should have just held the trade. I do want to maintain longs up to previous day's high. I think we're going to maintain that for the day. MES definitely could give us a better entry. Sure. I'll try it again. So stop will be at, I'll put it at 20 points again. So risking $100 on one micro. And then this one, I'm going to try to hold up to previous day's high. I'm not going to touch it. Let's pull back, targeting previous day's high this time. So this will be about a 30-point run. And I'll leave it until one of them hits. This should line up a little bit with the IB as well, even though the IB is not formed yet. The London 50 that might bounce here as well. We'll see. We haven't taken up previous day's high quite yet on MNQ, so that's still intact as well. Good news is if we end up losing on this trade, it's only going to be a $60 loss because of that win. That's how I view it. How do you choose where to take the trade between MNQs and SPY. I usually look for which one has a better pullback, which one has moved closer to the 50% of the IB. There's not a lot of complex thinking that goes into it. It's just something that a fifth grader would go and think through. Well, I know MCL is micro oil. I don't know what the stock ticker is, Tyree. Like, is it oil? Is it crude? I don't know what it is. Down 16 right now, down about 3 points. We'll see. We still previous day's high should go and hit pretty easily here on MNQ. Missed it by like 5 cents, I think. So our high of this candle was 612.76. Previous day's high 612.87. We missed it by 11 cents. That's going to be our draw to the upside. And again, draw just means a level that acts as a magnet. The price should continue to. Tyree Brian just tagged you in free chat as well. Stop pulling back. Don't do that. Previous day's high hit in Asia already. It has to hit during New York session stake. So that's for the inside bar stat on Qs. It needs to hit during New York. We hit 82% of it. So we need to push up another, that doesn't sound right, 18% when we only missed it by 11 cents. Oh, that's where it is right now. Sorry. It's at 82% of the breakout right now. So it needs to push up another 18% from where it is right now, but we only missed previous day's high by 11 cents. If I refresh this, it should push up a little bit more now. No? Previous day's high is 612.88. Previous day's low 603.43. So technically we could go and hit previous day's low. I don't see that being likely though. I think that we're probably going to maintain where we are right now. Down 10 points. Don't push down that far, you little brat. Well, we might end up giving that profit right back. See. Yeah, I'm in a long right now. I'm trying. It's not necessarily the IB that I'm trading. I'm trying to make a run up to previous day's high. So I'm trying to get this to push up to previous day's high, 687.08. It could technically go and take previous day's low, so that's still on the table. 688.62 and 669.66 are the overall draws for today. About to go hit my stop loss right now. So if this loses, I'm going to view it as a $60 loss because we won 40 on that first trade. A little unfortunate, but hopefully it bounces where it is right now. As long as we don't go and take a new IB low too. If I end up taking a loss on this, then I'll do what I should have done on Tuesday and probably just call it before an FP. Maybe try one MNQ long. We'll see. What's your code for Lucid? Zinc. Good Zinc. See you later, Brian. Have a good rest of your day. This one was not with the IB, no. I was not front running the IB that much. This was an entry that I was trying on a pullback. So we had a pretty good pullback from where it just peaked at 6.877. I'm trying to maintain trend to the upside. And I also want it to run up to 687.10, previous day's high. So this trade is not on the IB. The IB still has another 20 minutes. This is a lower risk trade. One MES with 20 points is $100 risk. I'm viewing it as a $60 risk because we won on that first trade. Oh, who's here? Delivery man. Shocker. This UPS guy is very familiar with our house. Are we still good on the IB play, or will we pass on it today? I'll try taking it on MNQ maybe if we can pull back. Wow, that almost got us. Missed our stop by 4 points, 3 points. Keep jumping, please. I don't usually look at the screen when I'm in the trade now. I don't look at the trade being open anyway. I put my stop loss in. I put the take profit in. If my stop loss hits and I hear that my stop loss hits, then I'll make sure I go and close the limit sell order for the TP. But if I was actively looking at the screen right now, I would probably want to get out early before my stop loss hits. I'm okay with risking 100. Again, I'm viewing it as a $60 risk because I made 40 on that first trade, and honestly, that should have been a $100 trade. But I'm a little paper hander. I don't like watching the trade because I think that makes you more inclined to do some pretty dumb stuff while you're in the trade, like not letting it run to your full stop loss, or exactly what I did. I was watching it. I saw that it was up $40. Instead, I should have not looked at it, let the trade run. Because right now, we'd just now be getting break even if I hadn't moved the stop loss or TP or anything. We'd just now be break even on that first trade. Additional trades really hurt too, and I really struggle at holding trades to full TP. So something that I need to work on. My stop loss is 6846. It's 20 points from where the entry was. MNQ about to give good entry at 50%. If it gets down there, yeah, I'll take it on MNQ today. So this entry, it will be 1 micro that I do on MNQ. There to there. We do have 18 minutes left on the IB. This will be a 110 point range, so $220 trade if it does end up hitting that level. If not, then we just stick in MES. The profit was from the GlobeX IB last night. Agreed. I used to close early. Now I set my stop loss / TP and back away from my desk. Yeah, it's something I really struggle with. The amount of extra trades that I've gotten myself into, which end up turning into losses because I secure my position early, those are the ones that really hurt me. There we go. We jump back over that 50% of the IB. I should be down like 5 points now. Yeah. Good. Definitely could have gotten another entry there too. I'm going to try to hold this for the most of the day. At the very least, we get the high on the IB, and then we're going to be looking for it to go to previous day's high. Live trading / streaming helps. Streaming helps me a lot. A lot of people I talk to say that they struggle streaming, which I think if you struggle streaming your trades, then you're probably not that good of a trader. Or if you struggle streaming trades, you shouldn't have people pay you to learn how to trade or for education or really for anything. You guys keep me locked in. It keeps, like, if I was by myself right now, who knows how many ads I would have just had, which is what I did on Tuesday. After I got off stream, I kept adding in to that IB that ended up failing, and that's why I ended up blowing my MyFunded accounts, my MyFunded futures accounts. So streaming keeps me honest, keeps me from doing dumb shit. It's pretty good bounce off the 50% of the IB. Also held London 52. That's nice. Do you like MES? I love MNQ. MES I kind of hate. MES is kind of a bitch. I have them. I have them still. I just may or may not have blown them on Tuesday. I'm almost back to being passed on them. Let's see. Yeah, I wasn't too happy about it. I am 1,400 off of passing them. I like streaming. Think of it this way: if I am saying that I'm a profitable trader, and all you guys come onto my stream, and every single stream I never make money, but then I go on to social media and I post that I made $5,000 today. Does that make sense on how I'm making money? Probably not. So if I can't articulate what I'm trading, if I can't tell you guys like why did I take an entry here on MES? I took an entry because I'm looking for previous day's high. This isn't an IB trade, even though it's retracing to the IB 50 right now. We could enter another one. If I can't articulate why I'm getting into the trade and then I just go and post profits on social media and I say I'm a profitable trader, but no one ever sees me make money, probably not going to have anyone want to work with me or think that I'm even authentic on that note. Or to say that you have to upgrade for X thing to come and see me do this and do this, and I do this differently and whatever, which is sadly what a lot of the space does. But if I was streaming on Tuesday, I probably wouldn't have averaged down as much as I did, and then I wouldn't have blown the accounts. So I blame myself for getting off stream or just trading stupidly after I got off stream, sorry. Could definitely add another one right now. It is at 50% of the IB. I'm going to leave it as is. If this one ends up losing, I'll look to only take it on MNQ. MNQ, we would have hit like 120, 150 profit twice over by now. But MES moves so damn slow. Like this same entry that we had on MES at 950, that would have made me a 120 point move on MNQ, which is another reason I really don't prefer to trade MES. I always prefer to trade MNQ if I can. Did I drew the range wrong on. You guys see how off this is? The IB. We're just about to hit 50% of the IB on MNQ. Q's isn't even close. I mean, it's close, but it's not comparatively as close as MNQ is. MNQ just got 7 points away from the IB, and we were 30 cents away on Q's. It's odd. NQ really close to 50%. Are you looking to take a trade there? Yeah, I give it like another 5 minutes. I don't want to take it too early. Usually hear the reverse of that. It's different when you're streaming in front of public and have that need to be very precise, not getting shamed in front of everyone. Yeah. I don't want to take a trade and then have everyone shame me in the live. On the same note, I don't want to take a trade and then have everyone tail into it, and then you guys end up losing your shit on it. I don't want people to take a massive loss because I traded poorly on live. We're so close to hitting the stop loss. It's still in, barely. This is really weird how off these two are right now. I don't like it. 10 minutes is still a lot of room to go down. I'm waiting to hear that stop build. So we hit 50% right there on MNQ, but look at, I guess Q's almost just hit it too. Never mind. 10 minutes. Oh, I almost went in with way too many right there. Ah. All right, got our stop loss filled on MES. So lost 100 on that. Again, I'm viewing it as a negative 60 loss because of that first trade. And then we can 10 minutes, 100-point drop. I'll try it. If it fills me, that is. Whatever. I'll chase it up a couple points. So I'm going to put, this is just one MNQ. I'm going to put my stop at the IB low, take profit IB high. This is going to be a, looks like a $200 risk. So it was a little early to the IB. One MNQ at IB 50. This will be the actual IB trade. The last one was not. Stop loss hit on MES for $100. Write that out. And then we're going to do long one MNQ at IB 50, TP at IB high, which is 25,208. Stop loss at 24,985. $24,985. There we go. This one is a little early, but I think 10 minutes should be fine. If it ends up losing, then we are 110%. We're not trading IB before NFP ever again. Thank you. And remove my limit TP on MES. Thank you very much. Actually, we might end up getting out of this trade early because if MES goes and takes, which it just did, and we're already down 50 points. So I'm going to actually cut that early. If you can wick up a little bit for me here. At 85, whatever. 82. So we'll take that second loss. MES just took a new low. So these two are countering each other. So we are no longer, we're taking the trade out early. Getting out early at negative 82. So we're down on the day 120. And then with the IB from last night, we're up 100. SPY just took a new IB low, invalidating the IB high on QQQ. So even though we took it out early, it's okay. It's a little annoying, but not really much we can do about that. SPY kind of stunk today. So still up from the IB from last night. Technically, if I didn't take that gold trade, we'd be up 20 overall still. Made 150 on that IB and then just lost 140. 60, yeah, 140. So up $10, but waiting for Apex since the 20th, still pending. Yeah, they kind of stink. All right, so this is, I'll probably just wrap my day up there. We're still going to stream and see what's going on with the IB for now. Maybe Q's somehow goes and takes the high, but this validates for next month, and I know it kind of sucks not having a trading day. I shouldn't have probably taken that additional one today. Absolutely no trading before NFP. The Thursday before NFP, we will not be taking a trade. Still up 108, but traded sloppy, I'd add. Q's has 5 minutes to still go and take a low. So that's the risk. Actually, you can still use this as an example. That's the risk right there to front running the IB. We got in at 1020, I think, right? Yeah, 1020. So that's 10 minutes that it could technically go and take a new low on the IB. That invalidates your stop loss before the IB should invalidate it. So if this takes a new low, then they're going to line up for targeting shorts. SPY is probably going to go to previous day's low. If Q somehow goes all the way down to previous day's low, I'll be shocked, considering that it missed previous day's high by 11 cents, but we shall see. I would. I'm not too upset about that actually. Still green on the day. I'm not going to throw that away later. Uh, Only thing that kind of stinks is now I'm back to being 750 away from getting the payout. It'll be a red day for me today. Stats currently not working well for me for bear stocks. I have on watch lists are all green, while longs are all red. So no trading for me until the end of the day. Nice. Globex IB covered this for today, which is why I'm not too upset by it. How about gold? What's gold up to? It's gold taking the gold is targeting the IB low. Open was at 132. You can draw this in. I took the IB yesterday on gold, and I will not be doing that again. I forgot how wiki gold is. This is the first time I've traded gold since they removed it on my funded futures. I forget how wiki it is, but this is a 600 point range, $600 range on one micro. So if you lose on this trade, you're down $300 on one micro. You can't add in, can't really do anything. First trade of my two funded, sadly an L. Hopefully it wasn't too big. I didn't trade very good today. Still green because of the IB from last night, but this is the point that I need. I'm actually going to write it down. Put it on a sticky note. Put it right on my monitor. I'm going to put it right on my light, actually. So I'll just get a different pen. No trading before NFP. And we're going to put that right on the light. No trading before NFP. What's going on, Brandon? How you doing? We have 2 minutes for Qs to go and take a new IB low. SPY's targeting the IB low as well. I can't believe we just dumped like that, by the way. That was a on Qs. On SPY, this is a 40-point drop. And on Qs, this is 180 points in 15 minutes. NFP is tomorrow at 8:30. But this is the exact type of stuff that happens before NFP that I don't like participating in. I shouldn't have participated in this. I should have stuck to my rules and not traded before NFP. So I need to make sure that I abide by this next month and actually don't trade before NFP. What's going on, R2? How you doing? What can I do for you? Missed my answer? On what? You took a long at 9:45. What I will say, I should have taken. So I took this long on MES, and it freaking crawled. This was at 9:49. If I had taken that same trade on MNQ instead of MES, go to the 1 minute here. If I had taken that same trade at 9:49 on MNQ, this was a 100-point move up in the same time frame that I was in that MES trade. That's why I do not like trading MES. Where did my chart go? What happened? It was weird. 1476 through the last 10 days. There you go. So IB, this is going to be a loss for the IB low because SPY is taking it lower. Qs form the low first into the high. If anything, this is actually going to be a pretty nice reversion down. And there's the IB low taken. So for a Thursday, the IB actually, what did we say at the beginning of the stream? This was kind of overdue a loss because it was at 87.5. 8 outcomes, 7 of them were wins. So this should jump down to like 80% now, maybe even lower. But this is why we don't make sure, and I'm going to need your guys' help next month. Make sure that we abide by this. No trading the IB before NFP. Yeah, I'm all done for the day, Davey. I'm not taking anything else after this. So the GlobeX IB covered this kind of sloppiness, but at the very least, I identified that it was going to be a loss at negative 82 as opposed to negative 202. So managed to hold the green day. Even if I had not taken that $100 win on gold last night, this would have been a $10 green day with the GlobeX IB last night. They banned me for making a defamatory post, R2, which I don't know what it was. I should have been on stream today. Would have been good luck. Yeah, Andre. It's all your fault still, somehow. It's because NFP's tomorrow. That's why. Would you be trading tonight's GlobeX? Probably not. I'm probably not going to touch GlobeX for tonight because of NFPs too. Well, we'll see. We'll see what happens when we get there. I've said it like the past, I don't know, 5 nights in a row because of how low of a range the GlobeX IB looks like. And then it ends up making an explosive move at like 645, and I ended up taking it anyway. I'd assume its terms and conditions are too. I don't know. And for anyone that backtested it, obviously we did not just take the trade right there, did we? We're not taking a trade at 25.15 and targeting the IB high when it's, one, we have Qs and SPY not lining up, but two, this is all the way down pretty much at the IB low when that candle closed. So this is a backtest statistic that you're going to be watching real time. You're going to obviously not take the trade on that position. Gold for today technically would be targeting the IB low. I do not trade the IB on gold because of how sloppy of a stat it is. Because the IB high form first, it doesn't even have a 50-50, it has a 45-45. So that means one out of the past 10 days hasn't even broken the IB on gold. So we're definitely not taking that. Even though it is at 50%, that's a 30-point stop loss, 30-point reward on the trade. Definitely not worth it. Just move on for the day. We're missing a day. It's fine. So I am ending the day at 108, and that's only because of GlobeX IB last night. We do have some good takeaways from today. So we did notice that SPY took a new IB low. Also, SPY just took its previous day's low. So that also invalidated the long that we took earlier. A little unlucky there. We identified that SPY took previous day's not previous day's low, sorry, the new IB low. So that's why we got out for negative 82 as opposed to letting that whole trade run to, it would have been like negative 220. Which is okay. Type a 1 in chat if you guys are surviving today. If you're fine with the losses that we took. Hopefully the losses aren't too big. And they don't develop into larger losses, I hope. Everyone should be okay, though. I wish we could win all the time. $100 loss will make it tomorrow. Yes, you will, Tom. Negative 134. Now, as long as I maybe risked like 10% of my drawdown in total there. So it was $100, $60 risk on MES because of that $40 win to start. And then on MNQ, it was a $200 risk on the IB. No trades, waited patiently for 10:30 as NFP is tomorrow, and I also understand that it's a bit lower probability. Had a nice win last night in GlobeX IB. Good. That wasn't too bad of a loss. I'm in insurmountable debt. That sounds like you, Turret Buddy. Apex banned me, yes. Q Mendes. Blew my $20 Apex eval. Never go back to them again, JW. Do we have a stat to show the percent of time NQ closing below 50% after the IB is set and still close below 50% by the end of the day? I do not believe so. I don't believe so. The only one that I would think would kind of work for that is the retracement IB, the IB breakout by retracement. This one, if we go over to, on gold still. If we go over to Thursday for this, let's see. 80, 60, 40 with an IB as large as what we have right now. So no. I'm not James. Why do you keep calling me James? James isn't here with us yet. He probably got hung up at the embassy. I'm never going to financially recover from this. Yeah. What a terrible day. Terrible. Would this be considered high form first or low form? This is the high form second. We formed the IB low right at open, formed the IB high second, but because SPY did not line up with Qs, Andre actually showed that stat yesterday. This is a 13% outcome when SPY and Qs do not line up on the IB. But taking a 180-point drop like that, not really much we can do. Now, if we go back over to Lucid, I think it's probably like 850 that I have to make now. Yeah, 889. So I'm not rushing it. If I was off by like 20, maybe I'd push it for today, but $889 is still a lot. And what's the worst that's going to happen? I'm going to have to wait another day to get the payout. So be it. A negative 17 on the day. Terrible. Terrible. It would be cool to have that stat to better keep a bias during the day. I'm going to try to build something out like that then. Swishy. Oh, you changed your name. Yeah, nothing for me for the rest of the day. A little unfortunate, but I should have respected the rules about not trading before NFP anyway. Lesson learned, gave $190 back to the market. To jump right back up now. What did Andre say to me? Damn, what, go all the way back up? That would be crazy. But we don't care because we're not trading it. Don't get sucked into this. It's just one day. It's okay. It does suck that we gave profits back. And I know I'm saying this from a point of being green on the day. It's not worth trying to revenge trade and get that profit back. Are you not going to trade GlobeEx as well? We'll see. We'll see what GlobeEx does for us tonight. I'm still going to mark out the range later. Imagine today is a double break day. Yeah, that would be nuts. So let's walk through what happened today. First off, we had a 39% chance that the gap got filled on both SPY and Qs, and we filled the gap on both SPY and Qs. SPY went up to 685.16, which is what yesterday's gap was. Qs went up, missed previous day's high by 11 cents, mind you. So we filled a gap that we had a 39% chance of hitting. Qs just invalidated its IB by rejection, which I wouldn't say it was a 12.5% chance. It's more so like 20. So we lost on the gap fill. We lost on the IB by rejection. If this goes and hits a double break for today, that's a 16% outcome. That's a 17% chance that we have that happen, combined with a 39% chance, combined with a 12.5% outcome. This is probably going to end up being like a 5% day, if not less. That's if we get a double break. You can fund, you just max the 25K accounts, all 5 of them. You can fund it in the next 5 minutes. Okay. Or 99, I'm going to call you that. Was the stat of a double break. The double break is a 16% outcome. So if we end up having a double break on the IB today too, that's a 16.94, 21 out of the past 124 days. And to add into that as well, the inside bar stat, we missed previous day's high by 11 cents. So we are technically still within previous day's range on Qs, open within previous day's range, inside bar setup. We're still within previous day's range. This is a 17% outcome that we stay within previous day's range. I don't know yet. We'll see. I'd like to trade GlobeEx IB, but if it's a small range, if SPY and Qs don't line up, there's a lot of variables that we need to make sure line up. Don't message me. I see. I'm not going to get sucked into anything else today. This is kind of funny. Made 100 today on the Tesla trade. The inversion, Tesla inversion. 5-minute candle closed green. Second candle's red, so you go long. Very nice. Stop loss was below 403. This one you could probably rode all the way up to 406. Very good. Good job. Less than 100 points. No, 100 points is still quite. 100 points is quite large for the GlobeEx IV. I would say if it's less than like 30, that's for the whole range. Last night's range was pretty close to me not taking it. Last night's range was 50 points, and I still took it. If it's like, and what I want to show is this is what the IB was showing before I went and took it. It was like right there. So that's a 46-point range. If the IB for GlobeEx is that small, I wouldn't take it. I don't take it on MES because MES was 11 points last night for the range. That's very easy for you to make a 5-point wick in the opposing direction and get stopped out or kind of screw yourself over. I already went over it at the beginning of the stream. You can rewind if you want to see it, Tony. What is the inversion trade? I'm not sure. No, I don't have an inversion trade. Oh, yes. I forgot about this. Daylight savings time, Sunday, March 8th. Finally getting our afternoons back, everyone. Starting March 8th, the market's going to shift back an hour. Or forward 1 hour, sorry. And Q short? No, nothing else today. IB did not work today because SPY and Qs did not line up. So we didn't take I technically did take a trade on the IB because I front ran it. I should have waited. Had I waited, I would have saved myself $82. I would have been at 190 on the day instead of 108. But we got out early at least. So we didn't end up getting hit with too big of a loss. It would have ended up being like a $240 loss because my entry was at 103 and I had my stop loss at 985. So 118 point stop loss, $236 is what I would have lost. I only lost 82. Gold, probably just going to hang out at the 50%. So no trade on that. MES and SPY, obviously, they're already broken on their IB. So there's no more trades on those. MES did take previous day's low. SPY also took previous day's low, so it was lined up together. And then Q's barely missed previous day's high. Call it there, BP. Do not try to trade to make that $100 green. It's not going to give you any more reward than being $100 red. You guys have any more questions before we call the stream here? No James today. He probably got stuck at the embassy. I'm up 30 now. No, I'm done. Don't even want to know what you did. Don't even want to know. I got to go rage at the weights. I get you. All right, guys, that will do it for the stream today. We are going to call it a little early, but I am doing it for my own well-being so I don't do something stupid on the charts. I will see all of you guys on tomorrow's stream for My Funded Futures. 10:30 is my segment. But that will do it for today. If you are going to do something stupid, do it on an eval. I will see you guys later. Have a great rest of your day, great rest of your week. If I don't see you until next Tuesday, peace out.